Sashi pokiruk shing mitokram, rirapling shinin degen padi, sange shing dumikte ulvargi, drokunnam dakshang vachu parshok, idam guru ratnamandala kamniryatayami.
I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration, wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration, wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration, wisdom, I will attain this. I will attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. Okay, let's see. Let's start with rejoicing. We'll start with Tatiana.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Hello, everyone.
Наша радость.
She is our joy.
Спасибо.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, good to see you both. Okay, Anna, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, dear Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. About my rejoicing today, I want to tell a funny story. My phone was calling, and I'm like, unknown number, and I got picked up the phone, and there was a pretty old lady, and she was very very maybe unpleasant, or like, who are you? I am calling to my mom. Why you take her phone? I'm like, I don't know, who are you? And she told that she is 78 years old, and I thought like, how old are her mom?
Yeah.
Is her mom, and so I want to rejoice that people in so pretty old age, and they can use their phones, they can call to each other, and they are in some how to say energetic mood. They want to argue, they want to clarify who are you, this very emotional state. So I really rejoice about people in this condition and so elegant age, and I wish to every of us and every living being to be so energetic and clever. So that's my rejoicing for today.
Thank you. Be careful now when you say old.
Why?
I'm old.
No.
Oh, I'm
You're
just
always
kidding you,
young.
Anna. I'm just kidding you. Okay, Svetlana, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, Dylan, Sumati, hello, everyone. I'd like to rejoice about my colleagues. Today, my first day after my sick period, and they were so sweet, so kind. One of colleague told that they were missing me, and he was like, it was truth. Other colleagues just asking, how are you? And taking care, like asking, supporting. And I'm rejoicing about such environment and support. And I understand that it comes from my seeds. And by rejoicing it, I'm creating this kind of world where everyone is loving, supporting each other.
Very good. Very good. Whoa, did you have the flu or cold? How were you sick?
Yeah, something like this, nose and throat, all these issues.
No. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Daria, what do you have to rejoice
Good morning, Lama. Sumati, hello, Lama. I rejoice. Today I started reading the book World Without Compliance because I love compliance for all, and I won't stop compliance because when I complain, I am saying that it's not fair, unfair. It's not so, it's all wrong, and I don't understand it. Why I don't understand where the water from come, and I moved an object from. And what can I do? I take some things and put my pocket. And if I complain, I take and put another pocket. And I think I complained a lot. This unfair, this unfair. Oh my God. And parents don't do like I want. And it's awful. But I'm happy. I see this.
Well, good. Tracking your complaints. What was the name of the book again?
Will Bowen. Will Bowen.
I'm sorry, I
I
didn't
don't know
catch
how
that.
in English version. It's a Russian
Oh,
means that
it's
stop
only in
complaint.
Russian.
Мир без жалоб.
World without the complaints.
World Without
Without
Complaints. I'll have
complaints.
to see if I can find that. Wouldn't that be nice? Have any of you seen the movie The Invention of Lying?
Mm,
There's an English
it's
movie, Ricky
no,
Gervais.
I don't know this movie. It's a book.
No, but there's a movie called
Yeah.
The Invention of Lying, and it's
Ah,
Ricky Gervais. And in his world, you can't tell a lie. And all of a sudden, he invents lying, and it changes the world. It's really quite an amusing film, if you like Ricky Gervais.
oh, thank you.
Okay, Lydia, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, Holy Lama, Sumati. Hello, everybody. I'm rejoicing today that I had mental afflictions today, all day long. It's like sadness. And in the evening, I stopped it. I just think about may all living beings will free from mental afflictions and sadness, and it stopped. So I'm very happy about it.
Well, good. Now I just have to stop it from happening at all. But good, good. Okay, Manuela, what do you have to rejoice in?
So I want to rejoice that I today I supported my son who is ill. He went ill this last night, and I tried to make it very with much awareness to help him to get better the day and take care of him, and I make it really with a good I try to make it with a good awareness, because I heard that a near person of mine get very had an operation, and it's maybe it's really a hard thing she will go through, so I dedicate it also to her getting better very soon.
Well, good. you're keeping aware of where it's coming from and what to do about it. That's all we can do. Shinar, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, Venerable Sumati. Здравствуйте. Hello, everyone. I'm rejoicing that we are taking care of our children, and to remind myself that we don't have to be doing anything big. We can start with our own family, taking care of our family and kids and people that we interact with every day with joyful effort and dedicated. And it can be small things, and it grows to something bigger and hopefully extends to, as we grow older or as we practice more, as it will extend to our community and further.
Absolutely. And never forget, all of you, never forget, your family are high karmic objects. A 2-year-old is a high karmic object, an 18-year-old is a high karmic object. So it's important to they are your first priority. And if you remember that, and as Shinar said, the small stuff is just as important as the big stuff because it eventually gets to the big stuff. So what do I have to rejoice in? Well, I remembered the question I wanted you all to answer for today's class, but Katya isn't here, so she won't understand I remembered, but we'll get to that in a minute. I've been stressing a little bit about how we're going to cover the celebration with Zoom because I don't have decent cameras. And then I remembered that we have 2 tablets, and the tablets have good cameras in them. So I figured out how to use tablets. I make each of the tablet be on a Zoom call, and I have 2 very nice images now. So I'll have one looking at the mic and the piano players, and the other looking at the audience. So, and my tablets it only took 25% of the battery power to last for 2 hours on Zoom. So I don't have to have power cords running across the floor. So I'm very excited that that problem's been taken care of. So I've given Svetlana the invitation. If you're interested in being in on the Zoom part of the celebration, and I know it's early in the morning in Moscow, but too bad, you got to get up. I'm kidding, you don't have to. We aren't recording it. My wife doesn't want us to record it. So anyway, the invitation. Svetlana's got the complete invitation. What you have to do is respond to my email, and I will make sure you get the link on Friday the 20th. So things are proceeding apace. We've selected the baker. We think we've figured out a way to take care of the fact that when you open the sparkling cider, what we'll toast our anniversary with, it foams like you do, with champagne, it makes a mess. So what I'm going to do is open each of the bottles and release the pressure and then leave it on the table for each occupant each guest to pour their own. So we could have over 100 people between Zoom and it looks like about 50 people will be there present in person of our friends, and then we've opened it to the whole community here if they want to come and join in. So it's going to be quite the event. You won't want to miss it. It's a social event of the year, but it's a short year so far. Okay. So here's what I wanted you all to think about. What's your earliest childhood memory? This can't be from a photograph or anything like that, or video or anything like that. It's got to be something you remembered. So, Lydia, do you have a memory you can share?
Yes, I remember that I'm riding on a trolley. I don't know how to say it in English. Света, коляска. Trolley.
Trolley.
Uh-huh. So I'm very young and balloons. It was maybe a party or something like that at the street. And I just remember this. I don't know where, but for sure I was with my mom.
This is a trolley as a wagon,
No, it's for kids.
a bicycle?
I
No,
think it's a
just
stroller, just a
A
stroller.
stroller. Oh, a stroller.
Stroller.
a stroller.
Oh,
Stroller.
wow, that's really early.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, Daria, what do you remember your earliest childhood memory?
I won't say it's I don't remember this, but my mother told me when I was 2 years old, I fried eggs. It's really fried eggs. My mother walked into the kitchen and smoke, and see, I stay and fried eggs. My mother, yes, we can give food my daughter, and she wants fried. And I always, if I think I can do this, my mother said, "You did this."
So you burned some fried eggs.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad do you like to cook?
Uh,
Not so much.
not 50-50. Yeah, I can, but
Okay. Svetlana, what's your earliest childhood memory?
The earliest memory that is coming to my mind, that like I'm waking up, I'm feeling it's like already calm and nice, and I had such feeling to rush somewhere to tell something someone. Now I should do it, and then I understand that I can't do anything. That I'm small. I'm like just lying down in some space, like it happened childish bed, and then beautiful being is standing in front of me, and I'm looking at her, and she is so wonderful, she is so soft and kind, and she's like like she's so caring and loving, and I'm feeling, oh, I want to be the same, to express my feelings the same way, and I wanted to tell something like to talk with her, but I couldn't. I was like, wow. So it was funny, really. Yeah, but it's like just something, some strong feelings and memories from earliest childhood.
Well, see, you had contact with an angel when you were younger. Wow. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, it was my mom.
Oh, it was your
Yeah.
mom. Okay. Shanar, what was your earliest childhood memory?
My childhood memory, I can't remember from the top of my head right now. Can I skip it? Is that okay?
Yes, you can skip it. Okay, Anna, what's your earliest childhood memory?
I remember that there was.
Can't hear you.
I remember that there was child's event for children, like a concert, and I was a cook, and I had this big chief's hat, and also I had very big how it like a big spoon for soap or something like this, like um, ladle.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, very big, also maybe bigger than my head. And I was a star of this event. this my chief hat and this ladle, so I remember this. Thank you.
Interesting. Interesting. Manuela, what do you have to remember?
I spent my first 7 years of my life on a farm, and behind the farmhouse there was a small pond. And my sister and me, I think I was 4 or 5 years, um, we tried to catch fishes with bread in our hands, putting our hand with the bread into the water. And at some point, I felt from the wood stake, I don't know, from the wooden part of this, where we are lying, on a wooden thing, and I fell over into the water. And my sister grabbed me and cut me out of the water, and then we put out off our wet clothes and hide them into the barn, hoping that our parents would not notice. But of course, we forget the clothes, and of course they saw the secret, and we got a lot of trouble. It was really fun. Not fun.
I'll
First
hide my
fun, and then
clothes. My mom won't see my wet clothes, but I'll be naked. Oh, oops.
yes, it was really fun. But my sister catched dry clothes for me, and yeah, finally we forgot the wet clothes in the barn. So yeah, a lot of
Wow,
trouble later.
that's a great story.
Yeah.
Well, the point of the exercise was twofold. One, to have hopefully it be something cheerful, and the other is to encourage you to think back through your life at the fun times that you had when you did something nice or you just had joy. Because I think we tend to freeze our minds in the present and don't look in the back in the past to see the kind of things, good things that we did that should and will ripen into pleasant things in this life and next life. So I encourage you to think about it often and encourage others to think about it often. If I could figure out some way to do that at this 50th anniversary celebration, I would. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say, and I'll probably start crying, but I don't know what I'm going to have to say. I'll let my wife go first, and that way she'll say everything, and I just say ditto. So her brother's going to be there my age. He's going to help, and his wife is going to help set up. So that'll be interesting. Okay, class. I haven't shared this, I don't think. Let me get. It should be on your screen now, right? Okay. So, class 8, meditative quietude. We spend our days in gentle walks and thoughts of helping others, here in the silent peace of the forest, flowing in soft breezes. We live doing as we please in our mansion of a wide, flat rock, cool with the touch of moonlight and sandalwood scent of the holy, living deep within the woods of peacefulness, completely emptied of conflict and afflictions. We live where we please as long as we like, in abandoned houses or caves, or else at the foot of a tree. We have given up the suffering of owning and protecting things. Carefree we live, relying on nothing. Well, my computer's messing with me again. We really need to do retreats in order to get to the state where we can focus on working on our mind. That only happens if you can isolate yourself and calm your mind from all the worldly events and go internally and work on your mind. Live as we please as long as we like. That refers to no plans, no appointments, no busyness of day-to-day life. You don't realize how busy you are in day-to-day life until you take a long retreat, a month or more, and really get yourself out of the mode of what do I have to do today for who and what. It's what you have to do today for your practice, for your mind. And it takes longer than, for me, it takes longer than a week. What I want to emphasize, I talk about the length of retreat. You start short, a day or two, and then a week, then graduate to a month. Maybe after 2 weeks, graduate to a month. And if you do a month, then you take a few days to unwind from worldly events, and you think about your retreat, and you do your retreat, and about halfway through, you're going to start thinking about what are you going to do when you get out of retreat. And that's a very important point that we'll discuss a bit later. Give up the suffering of owning and protecting things, suffering of wanting something you do not yet have, suffering of having to protect it once you have it. What's a good example? Well, you get a new computer and you want to make sure it doesn't, you turn it off. Back in the day, you had to take the read-write head of a hard drive and park it on a part of the disk that didn't have any of your programs on it. So you had to be careful to shut your hard drive down properly. And if you didn't, you could lose all your data. So you get a new computer back then, and you had to be constantly thinking about what to do in order not to do something stupid and damage it. So you get something new, and all of a sudden you've got all these other worries. It's like a new car. You get a new car, and you don't want anybody to scratch it. You don't have to wax it all the time. You don't want it to look dirty to anybody. You want the chrome to shine. It's when you can get something new and not obsess about it that you know you've started to hit renunciation properly. In retreat, we give this all up and with luck do not want to return to the same old way of doing things. What should we meditate on? Think of these considerations and others as well. Contemplate the benefits of isolation, put an end to useless thoughts, and meditate upon the wish for enlightenment. That's a pretty straightforward topic. From the very beginning, exert yourself in the practice of treating others and yourself the same. When the happiness and the suffering are the same, then you will care for all just as you do yourself. Now, that's a pretty tall order. As we talk about bodhicitta and trying to be a bodhisattva, what's the real measure of whether we're making progress? And I think for me, the real measure was to constantly think that everything and everybody is coming from my past deeds. It's just that simple. Now, the problem with that is we don't know what's going to ripen next. So if something bad happens or unpleasant happens, I get Parkinson's. As I was showering this morning and having difficulty opening the shampoo bottle, I reflected on how things aren't getting any better. And at some point, I'm not going to be able to open the shampoo bottle, so I need help taking a shower. I'm not looking forward to that. But until that happens, I'm not going to worry about it. I can't worry about it because if I do, I'll be wasting the precious time I have where I'm not having that problem. So that's what I encourage you to think along those lines. Obviously not having Parkinson's, but when you come up against a problem, don't dwell on the problem, dwell on a solution, and dwell on the fact that that problem's new for you, which means it's not self-existent, which means you can get rid of it. There's a positive approach to the suffering of the pervasive suffering instead of a negative and depressing approach. First, give up useless thoughts. It takes about 2 weeks, but they will leave and fill that vacuum in your mind with bodhicitta. How? Really, really, really focus on the practice of treating others as you treat yourself. And the way I do that, the way I try very hard to do that is, what would I want to hear or have someone do for me in that situation? So let's see. Well, my wife has a computer problem. Now, she doesn't like not knowing what to fix. And I think she, as much as she loves me dearly, she would prefer to not have to ask for my assistance. This is my supposition. So when I go in, I try to encourage her. What have you done? Etc. Not what have you done, but what have you done? What have you tried? So I don't have to try that if it didn't work. And that's a big difference between going in and saying, what now? You having another problem with your computer? What now? And it's just a tone of voice. It's something as simple as a tone of voice and the approach that makes all the difference. I would prefer to be treated with, instead of, well, what did you do now, idiot? I'd prefer to have someone say, well, Sumati, what have you tried? And I don't say, did you do this, this, or this first? I ask, what did you try? Because if you say, did you do this, this, and this, it again implies, it sounds like an accusation. It implies you've done something wrong. So what have you done? Oh, really? Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try that? And then the most important thing, or at least in this case with this example, is to listen carefully what the other person has to say. So you listen the way you want to be heard. You listen carefully because they may have done what they think's right, and that may be the whole source of the problem. But if that's the case, you don't say, well, that was a dumb thing to do. You say, oh, well, that could have changed this. Let's go and check it. So that's a day-to-day example of something we probably all are somehow involved in with computers or with something we do for work. Focus on compassion, but just not ordinary compassion. What are the types of compassion? Compassion wants all beings to be freed from pain. So hopefully all of us have at least compassion. We don't wish anybody to be in pain. There are two kinds of great unenlightened compassion. To want other people to be separated from suffering. You want to be the one to help them, even if no one helps you. These are the two flavors of great compassion. This is the 6th step of the 7-step method for developing bodhicitta. You want to help no matter what anybody else, if anybody else comes up to help you. And then there's holy great compassion, that of a Buddha who can really do something about it. So the 7th step, becoming an enlightened being so that you can really do something about it. Is this really possible? We get glimpses when we do something for strangers or make a friend happy by helping, but could we do it all the time? Master Shantideva says yes, and says it's inevitable, and just as pivotal a point in our spiritual progress as the direct perception of emptiness. And like the direct perception of emptiness, it must be cultivated. It doesn't happen just because we wish it. So once you've committed to be a bodhisattva, you have to work at being a bodhisattva. Reviewing the 6 perfections isn't enough. You've got to do the 6 perfections. And I know we've said we can't perfect the perfections until we're a Buddha. Well, you need to practice perfecting the perfection of the perfections in order to be able to do it down the road. So this is all it is. It's practice. How much merit do we get? Tons. As much as when we're enlightened. Well, once we're enlightened, we're not worried about collecting merit. We're enlightened. How to be as worried about others' suffering as your own? The last time you did not feel well, recall how preoccupied you were. Can we reach a point in our life where we care more for others' discomfort? Do we care for others' discomfort with the same preoccupation? I have to think about that. Geshe Michael Roach says, we have to be karmic millionaires just to hear these words. Now that's an interesting phrase. You said that more than once. Like we're 1 in a billion to be here. To hear this exposition of the Dharma is an incredible, what do I want to say? An incredible goodness. If you've read any of the Dharma books, many of the ones I've read are very full of words I've never heard before, and not easy to read. Now, I'm not saying the Dharma has to be easy to read in order for me to be interested, but Geshe Michael has a unique skill, in my opinion, for translating into a style that makes you want to turn the page and see what's coming next. And he's training the translators to do that. And that's just, that's an enormous good. Contemplation 15. There are many separate parts, the hands and all the rest, but we dearly care for them all as a single body. Just so shall I work for the happiness of every different being, treating all as equal, all as one, thinking of their joy and pain as if it were my own. Now, we had a friend that was a theosophist, and Marie was very sweet. Her son was one of the first people to develop the idea of the El Nino, the warming of the Pacific Ocean that has such an effect on weather. They named a ship after him, actually. But when we talked about giving and taking and exchanging self for others, she got very upset. She said, I don't want to take on anybody else's cancer. I'm old and sick enough as it is. I don't need anybody else's cancer. And we couldn't get it through to her that we're not taking on the cancer. We're taking on the trauma of having the cancer. What can we do to help this person? How can I feel what they're feeling so I can figure out what I need to do, what I can do to help them? But she was adamant. She didn't want to learn anything about bodhicitta. So obviously we had not explained it as well as we should have. So we kept working with her. I don't recall. I think she died shortly after that. We need to treat others the same way as part of us. Where does me end? How many of you have taken the death meditation module? Okay, there's a room in there where you extend yourself for others. And there's well, it's kind of hard to explain, but we go through the process of saying, here's me, and now here's us. And I've included the other person in my concept of me. You should all take a death meditation course. Where does the I end? My skin, my hair? Is the idea of me fixed? Well, consider this. Watch a parent caring for their child. If a child scrapes a knee, the parent is upset too, almost as if they scraped their knee. If the child is laughing, the parent is happy, almost as if they're laughing. If someone threatens a child, the parent is threatened. Seems like a parent has extended their feeling of self to beyond their skin. Now, this is going to sound weird, but I had a truck, brand new. God bought it brand new. It was the first vehicle in my life that I owned from brand new. It was exactly what I wanted. And it's going to sound strange, but I loved that truck. I really liked driving in it. I liked being able to use it to help people. I really liked that truck. Okay, so Master Shantideva says, think of your hands and your legs. Two hands. So, okay, yes, I have two hands and two legs. Are they you or not you? Well, they're part of me. They're part of my body, so they're me. So are they one thing or many things? Well, they're four, not 10 plus 10. Well, maybe there are 10 plus 10 toes and hand and fingers. They're a lot. Are they you or not? I guess they are me. Why? Because it seems if someone tries to hurt my body, I get mad and try to protect it. So what is the difference? Between what? The boundary between your thinking of all your parts are you and thinking others' hands and feet and such are you. The boundary is arbitrary, a habit forced on you by your past selfish karma. Now, I am not any one of you, obviously. I'm me, you're you. But I can extend my concept of me not to be in your mind, but to be cognizant of how you're feeling and how you're feeling, what I'm going to do about making sure you feel better. And again, I'm not inside your mind thinking this. That's ridiculous. I'm observing your mind streams ripening in my karmic sphere, so to speak. And I'm reacting to it in a way that I think will bring you happiness and down the road will bring me happiness as those seeds ripen. But we have to remember a very important point. You have to develop the skill to see what others need to make them happy, not what you think will make them happy. Now, sometimes that's the same. Often, if you're good at being a bodhisattva, those are the same thing. But when you're starting, and often in the middle of doing it, even years after you took the bodhisattva vows, you'll find you're deciding what's going to make somebody happy based on your needs. And that's not right. And I run across that often with my wife and her computer. She has an ancient Windows 10 computer. I'm trying to get her to get a new one. She doesn't want to get a new one. Why not? Because I love my old computer. Yeah, well, pretty soon it's not going to work. What are you going to do then? Well, it'll work as long as maybe I won't use a computer anymore. Well, in this day and age, I find that hard to believe. Now, what I want to do is transition her into a Windows 11 machine so that when her other computer fails, she's up to speed and can transition easily. But that's what I want. Now, it happens to be the right thing to do because often I do know better than she does. But after 50 years of marriage, you don't tell her that. So I'm trying to get her to understand that I'm trying to help. But I'm interjecting how I'd want to transition to a new computer instead of taking her reticence and working with it. That's a challenge. But that's my best example of extending the boundary to her, trying to help her, but remembering I need to be thinking like she does, not what I want to do. We've just shown that we can and do extend our perception of me to include others and other things. We must overcome this habitual karma of selfishness. It's not a matter of wishing, it is a matter of conscious effort working towards these goals. Start small. If you're thirsty, turn an offer of water to another first. Hungry, get food for someone else first. This means more than not caring what you look like in the morning. It means being like Mother Teresa or Gandhi. True, we start small, but our goal is the myriad faces of God. I love that. The myriad faces of God. Maybe that'll be the title of my next book. I come up with wonderful titles for books, but I don't have a subject. Another one I really like is All Kinds of Cloud. That comes from a movie many, many years ago. Let's see. I think Jeff Bridges was in that. I'm gonna have to look this up. And he's a druggie, and the hero in the film is talking to him. He goes, "Man, you've got all kinds of cloud." And I remember him saying, "This is when I was like 17 or 18 years old." I remember that. I have to write that down. Jeff Bridges and James Caan. Now that I'm remembering, Brian Piccolo. Movie about a football player who died very early from cancer. Okay. It is not taking care of others as if they were you. They are you. They are your projections. It is not if, they are. In doing this, we do not merge into one mind stream. Even at enlightenment, we don't. A mind stream is a karmic result of its own past deeds and can never be anything else. No one can collect good or bad karma from somebody else. If so, Buddhas would have taken care of us long ago. The perception of them all being part of me for the purpose of perceiving their or our happiness and eliminating their or our pain makes the karma that ripens into the future as being able to achieve these goals by way of becoming one who can teach them how to do it. Why do you want to become a Buddha? So I can free all sentient beings from their suffering. How can you free sentient beings from their suffering? You can't take on their karma. You're right, but I can't teach them. I can teach them how to take care of their own karmic karmic complexities. Another my objection. My wife gets a headache and I don't feel it. If she was part of me, shouldn't I have a migraine too? So suppose you object and say your pain never hurts the body of another. Even so, your pain is something you can't bear for just one reason. You're grasping to yourself. Just so, even though it's true that sufferings others feel never come and strike you, still it is your suffering, since you'll find them hard to bear once you grasp to yourself. The fact that your pain hurts you comes from your grasping to yourself as you define what you can tolerate and what you can't. That boundary of what is tolerable and what is not is a habit. It's karmic imprints from past behaviors. One guy cannot get angry no matter what. Another gets mad if you insult their cat. So what's going on? Master Shantideva says it's all up to you. Now I was gonna look this up, but I forgot to. Are you familiar at all with Donnie and Marie Osmond? They're American performers. They had a song called "I Leave It All Up to You." And I was going to get the words and sing it for you, but I didn't, and I'm not. So every once in a while, I get in the mood to sing. Do you actually feel a pain as a migraine? No, I don't. I believe I've had the equivalent of the pain of a migraine. I had played around the golf with some friends. I was dehydrated. I got home, drank a beer, and had a headache. And usually when I had a headache, I could go out and run. This is back when I was like 35 or so. I'd go out and run on the cross-country course across the street from our house. And after a few minutes, I'd feel great. So I get changed and I start running, and my head feels like it is literally going to explode. I mean, I had my hands holding my skull because I thought my head was going to explode. And if that's what a migraine is, my God, I can't wish that on anybody. So I laid down, went to sleep, and everything got better. But can you imagine? I don't know if any of you have ever had that kind of a headache, but literally, my next door neighbor saw me doing this and later asked me what was going on. I said, well, I thought my head was going to explode. It takes expanding the boundary of me, and that makes it easier and harder. Harder to expand, but once expanded, since they are part of you, and you want happiness. Be careful. Observe and think. I think people will be happier if all the cars are parked efficiently at Diamond Mountain, if all the shoes are on the shelves at Diamond Mountain. But I am deciding for others. Am I deciding for others or observing and helping others? So parking at Diamond Mountain, when Diamond Mountain University going full bore, we'd have 80 or more people in that temple room. And did your screens just flash? Mine did. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, so to me, parking efficiently would get the most people in the parking lot safely. But I often had people drive by me and just park where they wanted. So obviously not everybody thought the way I did. Putting up their shoes. That was such a simple thing. Such a simple thing to do. When you come into a temple, you take your shoes off and you put them on the shelves. I mean, that doesn't take much thought process at all. If you're considerate of others. Now, if you're just considerate about yourself, you will go into the temple, take your shoes off, leave them inside the temple, go do what you're going to do, and maybe not come back out and take your shoes for a while. Now, that person was serving Geshe Michael, and to them, serving him was above all other considerations. And that's where I caution you to be careful. Never do something wrong for another person. So, yes, Geshe Michael and Lama Christie are vastly more important karmic objects than how I feel about the temple. But if the rule is take your shoes off, put them on a shelf, and you don't do that, you're setting a karmic seed in motion. Despite all the good you're doing for Geshe Michael and Lama Christie, you're setting a karmic seed in motion that's going to come back to bite you. So whenever you put something into a higher priority slot, think of all the consequences and be careful. Practice, yes. Practice alone is not what makes one a great golfer. Or there would be a zillion of them. It is the karma that comes from having practiced that ripens sooner in some and later for others that make yourself see a great golfer. It takes effort driven by intention, and I say powered by attention. Takes effort driven by intention. I want to help my wife feel better from having a migraine. Powered by attention. What can I do at this moment to take care of her headache? It is not to offer her ice cream. It's to say, what can I do? Do you need an ice pack? Do you need a hot heat pack? And then if she says nothing, just get out of the room. Not take it as an insult to me. She's trying to not have any disturbance in her room. So I leave. But I don't go, oh, she doesn't want me in the room. That's not the point. The point is I need to look at my intention to help her. I need to look at how I can help her. It's really very simple, but I think we tend to I don't want to, how can I put this? I think we skip we say the intention is to help all sentient beings, so now I can go and do what I want. what I need to do. But stop and think. The intention is to develop the skill to help all sentient beings, all living beings. And if you develop the intention as developing the skill, you're setting the karmic seeds to develop the skill to become a bodhisattva. That's what's going to make you into a bodhisattva, not a myriad of deeds. Well, I've done this now. This is going to contribute to my being a bodhisattva. Yay for me. Instead of saying, I'm doing this because I want to help all living beings in my mind stream be free from suffering. And the way to do that is to develop this skill with the proper intent and the proper attention. I must stop the pain of others because it's pain. It's like the pain that I feel myself. I must act to help others, all others, because they're living beings. It's like the body that I own. So we're going to go through a logical proof about this. Subject, consider the pain of others. Assertion, it is right that I should stop it. Reason, because it is pain. This is very simplistic, but it's worth going through the exercise. Example, it is, for example, like the pain that I feel myself. 1 and 3, subject and reason must have a relationship. Consider the pain of others because it's a pain. Okay. I'm considering the pain of others because I don't like pain. I'm assuming they don't like pain. The pain of others is pain. If 3, then 2. If number 3 is true, the reason, then number 2 must be true, the assertion. Because it is pain, it's right that I should stop it. Yeah, I don't like pain. My goal is to stop pain. If there is pain, it's right to stop it. Okay, so far so good. If not 2, then not 3. If it is not right to stop it, then it is not pain. Pleasure is not something we would stop. Clarifying example, any pain is just like the pain I feel. Meaning, if I could find back pain is intolerable for myself, why should I think that someone else with back pain would not also find it intolerable? Why is their pain, once I know about it, okay, but mine is not? If there's any pain that I can perceive, whether it is in my body or I see it in others, it is still pain, and relieving it in some way is my duty as a bodhisattva. Suffering is something we are all responsible for, no matter where it is. I must stop the pain of others because it's pain. It's like the pain that I feel myself. I must act to help all others because they are living beings. It's like the body that I own. Do others have pain? Somewhat of a rhetorical question. Yes. Where does it come from? Their karma. Why do I see it? My karma. What can I do about it? Change my karma. How? Take care of others and their pain, or at least try. Why? Because they have pain. And as long as we continue to limit our care of ourselves to the stupid limited boundary, we will just perpetuate our own and others' suffering. Because if you limit it to your boundary of you, you're not helping somebody else. But once you can extend the boundary of your concern, you're not extending the physical boundary. I am not any one of you people physically. But if I'm trying to do my job, I want to make sure that all of you understand, in this case, this particular topic. So I'm extending myself to you in order to see if I'm making sense. I'm trying to teach this in a way that I would want to be taught it. So another logical proof. Consider others' happiness. Is it something I should work to bring about? Because that one over there is a person, a living thing, living being. It is like, for example, the way I work to bring happiness to my own body. 1 and 3. Consider others' happiness because that one over there is a person, a living being. Okay, that's where I can see considering their happiness. If 3, then 2. The one over there is a person. It is something I should work to bring about, their happiness. Okay? If not 2, then not 3. It's not something I should work to bring about because whenever there is not a living being. So if there's no living being, I can't very well bring them happiness. The only way to get happiness is to work for others' happiness. It's the only way to get rich is to work for others' wealth. That's the whole idea of karmic partners. If you want to get into retreat, find a karmic partner and help them get into retreat. Don't worry about how long the retreat is. Don't worry about what the retreat is on, unless it's something silly. Work for them. So someone says, I'd like to do a one-day retreat, but my children need to be attended to. Well, I could take care of your children if you know them. Why don't let me take them to the park for the day or to a museum for the day or something like that. Our job is to do this. Any little happiness anywhere is our job to create, our honor to do so. If you work for your own happiness, you will reach one person's happiness. If you work for others' happiness, you're not limited to just one being's happiness. You can get many, many more. It's a radical idea. Start small. Imagine what would make someone happy. Share it. Give it. Coffee to a coworker. First in line. Give the fact that both myself and others are exactly the same in wanting happiness. What difference could there ever be between us? What reason that I work only for happiness for myself? Given the fact that both myself and others are exactly the same in not wanting pain, what difference could there ever be between us? What reason that I protect myself and not all others? So here's where someone who's not a Buddhist could say, given the fact that both myself and others are exactly the same, and leave it at that. We're not saying that. I'm not Svetlana, I'm not Lydia, I'm not Shinar, I'm not Anna, I'm not Manuela, I'm not Tatiana, I'm not Daria. We are exactly the same in not wanting pain. once we really see that others, ourselves and others are the same in wanting happiness, why on earth would you ever limit yourself to just working for your own happiness? There are so many out there, and we can make so much more happiness all the way around. Our boundary of self is arbitrary. Our desire to take away others' pain is a habit that can be learned. Our desire to make other people happy is a habit that can be learned. The two combined will take us to our paradise. Well, apparently that's the end of my slides. So, your intention, then paying attention, focusing very hard on what the other person needs. Not, and solve it, again, like I said earlier, not by what you think they need, what do they need? And that's the skill. That alone is a skill that takes a while to develop. Because if you don't have that skill, all your intent in the world is not going to help them. You have to really stop and think about it. And maybe that's why some people don't want to become bodhisattvas. They don't want to be thinking about this constantly. I think of it constantly, think of all the small things I can do to help, not ignoring the big ones, but think of the small things you can do to help people. What's a good example? Oh, here's one. So I got an email from a student. It said she was looking for a copy of a particular of Liberation Thrust on the palm of your hand to cross-check something she was working on. Did I have copies of that? And if so, could I look something up for her? And she actually wanted copies. So I said, Janet, I have scanned those 3 books, the 3 parts of Liberation Thrust in the palm of your hand. I have compiled them into one document. I am sending them to you with this caveat. You need to look through there, find the section you need, and then erase them from your hard drive. Unless you have copies of those books, you cannot keep the copy on your hard drive. So she went out and bought the books. So now she can keep it on a hard drive because it's optically character recognized. And it's an incredible resource for teaching and for understanding the Dharma. Now, I reacted immediately to her request with that solution. I could have asked her, what specifically do you want out of it? And gone and found that and sent her just that specific part. But that's solving her problem on my terms. That's not solving the problem on her terms. So by sending her the entire set of 3 volumes, she instantaneously had access to what she needed. And she knew that she couldn't keep the rest of the scanned pages. I could have said, well, I'm busy, I'll get to that tomorrow. I only say that if I'm busy. If I'm not busy, I make the time and do it because that's how I want people to respond to my requests. I want them not to drop what they're doing. Ideally, that would be the case, but to make it a priority rather than I'll get to it when I want to. Because if you do that, that's how your karma's gonna ripen for you to get what you need. I have requests to the federal government that are over 10 years old that have still not been unclassified. 10 years. And I get emails occasionally saying, do you still want this information? Yes. I've been waiting 10 years for it. Now, what am I going to do with it? I'm not sure, but I want that information. So I want to stop perpetuating. I want to burn off all the karma for delayed reaction to my requests and speed up the reactions to the important things. How important is it to know that technical aspect of a missile? Well, I want my karma to ripen so I understand how to see emptiness directly, much more clearly. So by my doing the request for Janet and dedicating it, I've put a seed into motion for me to understand emptiness, have the direct perception of emptiness sooner. Now, how much sooner is that? It doesn't matter how much sooner. The fact is I planted the seed for it to happen sooner. Don't forget there's the perfection of patience, of not getting angry in the 6 perfections. Okay. So what's the homework question for next class? Yeah, I don't have one. Okay. Dedication. I want to read I will free all those who have yet to be freed. I will save all those who have yet to be saved. I will comfort those who have no comfort. I will deliver all beings beyond grief. Thank you for the opportunity to teach. I guess we'll see everybody on Thursday.
Thank you for teaching, dear Lama. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Shanar, for translating. Thank you for all being my students. I really mean that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Holy Lama. Do we have sajong today?
Yes, at noon.
Okay,
At
okay.
10 your time.
Thank you.
Just a little bit. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Bye-bye.